2/3 patients in Ukraine do not have equal access to the safety blood components. These terrible numbers are people. I was a part of those patients when in 2006 my friends needed blood. We were outside of a city, had some picnic and enjoyed our vacation. A small child, 3 years old, like all children, got dirty from head to the toe, and his parents asked her to go wash. But in a minute, when the mother came in, the child was lying on the floor because boiling water started pouring and the child lost consciousness. And the boiling water didn't stop pouring and washed away the skin layer by layer. I don't remember how we all got together in that panic, but got to the hospital in seconds. At hospital, the doctor told us to get somewhere blood and we have only 30 minutes. Do you know how long 30 minutes is? Those moments were unconscious for all of us. The only task is to save the child. Then no one asks why the hospital doesn't have the necessary blood. Why do we need to go somewhere else? No, we were not interested in that. The only thing that bothered us was how to get the other side of the city so quickly to save the baby. 30 minutes of nightmare. That was my first touch with blood services in Ukraine. I didn't know anything, how the system should work and who is responsible for equal access and other very important directions. But I truly believe that the patients should have the treatment at hospitals, and their friends and relatives should not search for blood or blood donors somewhere. In 2012, we started to work as an NGO and promote voluntary non-remunerated blood donor movement in Ukraine. My first step to know the blood system better. Actually, it didn't help at all. Moreover, it did not change the mechanisms, and patients were looking for the blood and blood donors for themselves. Perhaps at this point I needed to tell myself, that's enough. You are not that person who can change all this stuff. Just encourage people to be blood donors. That will be enough. But I really wanted to be a part of the solution, not to remain a part of a broken, unexistent blood services system. And then my life changed a bit. In 2018, I became a part of the Ministry of Health of Ukraine and headed the blood services system. During this time, my team and I have developed and implemented the strategy for the development of the national blood services system of Ukraine, and most importantly, implemented the new law on the safety and quality of blood and blood components. This means that within the framework of these two documents, a vision of the next steps, the main rules, how we are moving and where, was formed. What should be the structure of the blood services system? Who is responsible for the control and licensing, which, by the way, did not exist? What is the funding mechanism? How many blood centers should there be? And what quality should be for the blood components? And in 2021, I left the ministry and came back to the public activities, thanks to which we have the automated recruiting and coordinating system for blood donors, Donor UA, programs to promote donor movement, and training for both professionals and volunteers. Together with the state, we're developing the blood system in all areas. But February 2022 came.
Ми вводимо воєнний стан на всій території нашої держави. Допомагайте, будь ласка, на волонтерській спільноті та медичній системі, наприклад, донорством крові.
Кілометровими були черги, направду. Люди стояли по 5 годин для того, щоб здати кров, а це було дуже небезпечно, тому що будь-яку хвилину ракета могла прилетіти саме в центр крові. До кінця дня я створила всі інструкції для волонтерів І на ранок більше 500 волонтерів пішли в 17 містах в центри крові для того, щоб координувати людей, бо черги були шаленими. Людмила, координаторка платформи, телефонує Саші, співзасновнику Донор.ua, технічному керівнику, і каже: Саша, в нас лежить сайт. Саша такий: ну що там, мільйони зайшли чи що? І він заходить, зайшли мільйони. За перший тиждень війни в системі було зареєстровано 25 тисяч людей. І на сьогодні система налічує 127 тисяч зареєстрованих донорів, які на регулярній основі долучаються до донорського руху і здають кров. Я в цілому вважаю, що бути донором – це дорівнює бути людиною. Я щаслива, що ми є в Україні. Це такий ідеальний меч співпраці громадської організації і держави. Ми стали реально в нагоді.
Не дарма, коли сказали, ми з тобою брати по крові. Ми реально стаємо один одному підставляємо плечем, і ми стаємо братами по крові з усіма, хто сьогодні захищає нашу країну.
Війна закінчиться рівно тоді, коли ми переможемо. А для того, щоб ми перемогли, в кожного є своя роль.
As a primary recruiting and coordinating platform for blood donors in Ukraine, Donor.ua provides support to the national blood system during the war. We extended the team of coordinators and technical specialists, improved data security and dose protection, implemented new initiatives, and purchased consumables for blood centers, as well as the transporting blood to the regions close to active hostilities for the only reason to cover country needs in blood. During the war, the blood system was heavily stressed. Blood centers have been working and some continue to work 24/7. I don't think any country and state blood services system has been able to cope with such challenges, and the Ukrainian system is not an exception. Legislative changes that are crucial for the implementation of blood quality have been blocked, and the war accelerated the processes that provoked certain changes. The blood services system today looks like this. National level, while the Ministry of Health of Ukraine is responsible for the policy making, and 3 institutions under the ministry are responsible for the management, finance, and licensing. Regional level, we have 23 regional blood centers which meet the needs of hospitals and also fulfill the mobilization issue. And a hospital level where needed the blood transfusion. At all these levels, there are issues and gaps that need to be discussed and made changes. After all, today there is a very important issue of the efficiency of the blood system and improving the quality and availability of blood as never before. The need for blood has increased significantly. According to Donor.ua estimates, it is 60%. And this is due not only to the war, but also to the development of transplantation direction in the country. A big issue is the use of blood by the military and combat medics. In June 2023, a resolution came into force that finally allows military and combat medics to use blood after appropriate trainings. The issues of uninterrupted supply of consumables in sufficient quantities, challenges with staff at blood centers, and financial issues are not without problems. In the first days of war chaos, we survived because our neighbors, friends, and colleagues started working to win at their own level without waiting for instructions or permissions. So today, I have a dream. I want to build a blood center, Donor.ua Blood Center, where we will be able to quickly adapt to all the changes and respond to the challenges of war. We are in an unfair war with one of the largest countries in the world, and we must maximize our potential, and find partners whenever possible to save as many people as possible. I dream that no one will ever be in the situation that happened to me and led me to blood sphere. But I am really happy that I'm here. Today I stand before you and talk about the most important part of my life. And I'm glad that I can share my own experience and the experience of a country which unfortunately is going through its darkest times, and I can also talk about plans to build the future, our future. Thank you for your time and for the valuable invitation to be here with you today.